Hey, thank you guys for creating time. Time is always and is always precious than money. So, I have today to tackle two things. Two things. The enemies of man. There are only two things that for now, I can come up with. I will elaborate later, but there are only two enemies of man. And when I say man, I mean women and men. Two. Number one is time. Time. I don't know what I can say about time. Yesterday, there are people who are breathing. Right now, they are nowhere to be seen. They died with their dreams. They died with their vision. They had planned some things to do. They never did them. You know? They are people that they wanted to spend time with. They didn't. Their parents, their kids. You know, when you run out of time, the only thing that will come out of wasting your time is regrets. And there's nothing hurt like regrets. I've seen a 50-year-old cry. I've seen a 40-year-old cry. I've seen a 60-year-old cry. And there was this guy I was traveling with in a PSV, public service vehicle, and he was in 70s. I looked at him direct in the eyes. I asked him, Mzee, what is your biggest regret in this world? That guy looked at me. He was in his 70s. He had gray hair all over. He told me, my son, I'm going to tell you this for free. There are people that used to work where I worked. Countless times they told me we should invest, we should buy real estate, we should buy this, we should buy this. But on the other side, I had friends who are going to having fun, clubs, going to sporting events, spending money, going to watch football, going to watch musician, spending money. I'm not saying that those people who go to have time, they spend money, they are wrong, or they are bad. What I'm saying is this guy told me that he never listened to them. There are people who go to those games, there are people who goes to bars, and they have already invested. And according to where I am, most of the best deals, those people who live on deals, they sell houses, they sell cars. The best deals or the best land deals are made in bar and restaurant. I'm not saying that kind of rabbit. I'm not saying that mindset of going to club to make money. When you go to a club and you are going to have fun, but you make money, you are having good time when you're making money. A musician, a pianist is going to be in a club, be in a church, make money when you have taken your money there. I'm not talking about that. So he said all he did was to waste his money with booze, beers, everything, and ladies. There are two, he told me actually there are two types of people in that company he worked for. In 1950s, he told me there are a group of group of people that told him, my friend, stop doing this, make sure you make a loan, work hard so that you can be able to repay that loan. But that guy said that he doesn't want stress. So those guys went bought land very cheap at that time, made sure that it could appreciate on value, because they knew that they would never live on that job forever. This guy, there was another group that pulled him to having fun, indulge in happiness, club, wasted his all time. And remember, if you're employed, what is going to change your life is what you do after 5 p.m. That's what it's called, the game changer. The hours you invest after 5 p.m., what we call the game changer. That's what's going to happen when this job doesn't work. So for him, he never went to invest. He went to make sure that he did all the expenses. So yes, he had a family. He was paying rent and whatever. He was paying school fees. Life was good because he had something coming at the end of the month. You know what? That guy retired. When you retire, what happens? You're taken home with nothing. Just a little package of, a set of package. You know, his friends on the other hand, they didn't even wait for the retirement. They never waited for it. Why? The material, the property they had bought when they were in their 30s, when they were getting 50s, they had already multiplied in money, in value. So they fired their own boss, they quit their job 10 years before their time came. So they went to do their own business. When you have brought like 3 parcels of land and you want to start a business, you let this parcel of land appreciate in price, it grows on value. You sell it 100 times you bought 10 years ago, you start a business, you start a company, you know. And because you already have what you call client relation, you are not going to have, you already have clients. So this guy went on and retired. But after the end of the retirement, there was very much difference. This guy went back to where he comes from. We call it Shags. You know, the village. That's why he went back. His wife left him because he had no money. The kids at least had done something for themselves. They went abroad. They took the mother away from this man because he had nothing. You know? So his wife lives in abroad with their son, but he's left here to languish in poverty because of one thing: lack of investment, because of ignorance. That was the best regret that man made. The reason why I had to listen with him is because this guy, when he was telling me that, he was in tears. Remember, this guy is 70 years old and he's crying because of the word ignorance. Lacking to invest on time. You are not going to be young forever. I'm not going to have this hair forever. I'm not going to have the vision I have right now. The skin is not going to be like this in the next 50 years. So right now, I got to do what I got to do and make sure that I don't waste time, the little time I have. You know, you got to wake up. I say you got to wake up. Last year, I buried my cousin, my closest cousin. He had dreams. That actually was like my biggest turning point because I never thought that a young person like me would die. That guy took a lot of happiness, he took a lot of greatness, emotions. He was a vibrant guy. He took it to the grave. I don't want to do that. I want to impact people. So I don't want to regret. People, you know, some things about ignorance. You eat bad food, you blame it on Satan. If you die of diabetes, of maybe healthy, complicated issues about diet, you don't go on blaming Satan. You know, most of the Christians, the black people, they blame Satan for everything. You become ignorant about money, you blame Satan. You eat bad food, you get diabetes, you blame the Satan. That's a very bad analogy. You don't blame Satan for your shortcomings. And the worst thing that's going to happen to you, you're going to look for someone to blame. All. You are going to die poor and you are going to live in regrets. Yeah, I've ever talked to some guys who are there when someone was dying. And the guy told him that there are things that everybody, when he's dying, he regrets. He regrets wasting time, he regrets. Let it not be you who have those regrets. Regrets are the most painful things. So don't blame on other people. Just do you stop wasting time, stop ignorance. And it said, ignorance is no defense. You know, ignorance is no defense. So make sure you learn. Make sure you educate your mind. Right now, everybody has an iPhone, a Samsung, OnePlus. Those phones always update their system. After every 6 months, 3 months, others even daily. But when did you last update your mind? Your phone updates itself, new system, but you have never updated your mind. You need to do that. Stop wasting time. Start living. Do it for yourself. Do for the next generation. Make sure you invest today. Start in real estate. What the skills you have, invest in those because they are going to make money. It's not what you leave for your kids. It's what you live in them. So make sure you upgrade this mind. You must make sure that the technology is changing, the IT is changing. Make sure you don't grow your kids in the ages of 80s. They have new things, explore, be happy with them. Don't waste time. Spend sometimes with those people you love. Sometimes money is not everything, you know. Have good time with those you love, and it's going to do you good. Be happy, change your mindset. It's going to work for you. Peace.